Welcome to VDEOMKR.
The podcast that cuts past the highlight reel and takes you straight into the raw behind-the-scenes stories of creatives and makers. I'm Carly, founder of The Good Vibe Media, a woman-owned and operated video production agency and a creative studio space. Every week on VDEOMKR, I sit down with filmmakers, creators, and creative entrepreneurs for a deep, honest conversation you don't typically hear. The late nights, the pivots, the breakdowns that shape the breakthroughs. These are the conversations and stories that make people like me and so many other creatives need to hear. This is a space for growth, for lessons, for community, a place where we learn from each other's real, unfiltered journeys. This is VDEOMKR. Let's get rolling. Welcome back to another episode of VDEOMKR. I'm Carly, and today we have Clayton Lindley, who is a filmmaker, creative, producer, and owner of Ragtown Media, where he creates bold, story-driven films for brands, documentaries, and live events. Raised around film by his father, award-winning director Roger Lindley, Clayton learned production from the ground up, developing a hands-on understanding of both the technical and creative sides of storytelling. Before launching his production career, he competed internationally as a professional freestyle scooter athlete and built Undialed, one of the largest platforms in action sports. Today, Clayton brings that same high energy, authentic approach to filmmaking, crafting visuals that stand out and connect on a human level. Producing over 30 documentaries, over 10,000 pieces of short form content, and working with brands like Red Bull, Make-A-Wish, Barrett-Jackson, the Arizona Cardinals, and more. I am so excited to dive into this conversation with him today. Welcome, Clayton.
Oh, let's dive.
Let's dive. We're going head first.
We're swimming.
We are. Like backstroke, front stroke. What are we doing here? Yeah.
We're doing a breaststroke.
A freestyle breaststroke?
Or butterfly. Wait, what is it?
Oh, the butterfly.
The butterfly. Yeah.
That's like the hardest stroke.
Is
so...
it? Exactly.
Yeah, we're up for the challenge.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Okay, before we get really started in the conversation.
For the bio, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
Very honored.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
It's quite a bio. You've got quite, you're so young and you already have such an amazing, powerful
I appreciate that.
history.
No Botox.
Yeah, no Botox. This is all natural.
All natural. A lot of sunburns, though.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I can believe that. All right, let's do some rapid fire questions to warm us up. Okay, first things first, what was the first thing you ever made that you were super proud of?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And it can be anything. Anything at all. Anything that you made that you're like, oh, dang.
The first thing I ever made?
Yeah. It could be from your childhood or early in your career.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We can circle back to it too if you want to marinate.
No. No, we're here. I think, damn. I feel like I've done so much, so I'm forgetting about. That sounds like an asshole thing to say. But
it's true though.
I think like in production, and it was because I worked with my dad all the time, and I would create these pieces for YouTube, and I would always just post them online and whatever. So there was this trick that I learned at my skate park, because I grew up in Amarillo, Texas. So there was this small little skate park, and that was where we all hung out. There was the parking lot kids, there's the skate park kids, there's a volleyball court kids, and there was beef. Long story.
Okay.
But a lot of glass and windows broken. But besides the point, there was this video I posted, and I called it the human bri flip, because it's like a scooter trick where you basically you're riding the scooter and you throw it around and it spins like this next to you. Okay. And it's called a bri flip, but I did it with my body. So I did but it was opposite. I had it wrong, but I did a front flip, side flip thing out of my bowl, and it went it's my first video that got a couple million views.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, okay, this is something. I'd been creating a bunch of content, and because I would just set a camera up because no one was there to film.
Yeah.
I would film other people.
Yeah.
But I had no one that I trusted to film because they all sucked. And so So I just like posted that video that my friend Slater made, and it went like pretty viral.
Damn.
Because that was in like 2000. 12. So getting like a couple million views on YouTube was like a bigger
big
deal. Yeah.
for sure. So where does it live? Is it still on YouTube?
It's on my like personal YouTube channel.
It's on your personal one. Okay, so we can find it. We can track it down. And see it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's sick. Okay, what's something in your gear kit that you cannot live without?
Obviously the camera.
Yeah.
But if we're getting like specific, I think the one thing I cannot live without is like a really nice backpack.
Okay.
So like, you know, like not all the time you need it, but when you need a nice like production bag, like I use this bag called F-Stop. That's the brand. And they make these like small bags and big bags, and you can have like hydro packs in there. So if you're like on the go, that's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, which you've probably been on the go on a lot of your shoots too, right? Like having a good quality backpack.
It's like back and forth.
Yeah.
But then if we're really getting technical, I think a dovetail plate is like the most important thing. Because if you're carrying a big camera around and you want to balance it really quickly, the dovetail, you can just like put a quick release on, and it's on a quick release, and then you can like adjust it really quickly to balance it on the tripod, so you don't have to like, it's not back heavy or front heavy. So I think the backpack or the dovetail, those are like the go-tos.
Okay, I love that. What's your favorite thing that you've ever captured? First thing that popped in your mind, like, oh, that's my favorite.
My favorite. Pass. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
Where do you feel the most creative?
In like high intense environments.
Okay.
Yeah, like because I've like base jumped and done all these stuff where you have to be very calm in very dangerous scenarios. So like being in high intensity environments, I'm able to just kind of like, oh, what's next? Like,
do you cold plunge?
Not that much. It's really not that good for you.
No. Oh, really? Okay.
At a certain temperature, like for women, because my girlfriend, she's an IHP.
Yeah.
And so she's like, we've kind of like done all this research, and for women specifically, you're not supposed to go anything below like, I might be getting these numbers wrong, but you're not supposed to go like under 38 degrees. It's like really bad for your hormones or something. And then for guys, it's like certain times of the day, like in the morning, if you cold plunge, it like affects your testosterone the rest of the day.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Only reason I ask is because it is that like fight or flight, learning to be calm in that fight or flight type of mode. You know what I mean? So, okay, who is someone you...
Sorry to nerd out.
No, I love the nerd out. Let's keep it rolling. Who is someone that you would drop everything to collaborate with, and why?
Collaborate with?
Yeah.
What is his name? He directed Free Solo.
Okay.
Can I ask for a search?
Yeah.
Thank you. God, what is his name?
What do they call that? Phone a friend?
Phone a friend. Jimmy Chin. He would be awesome. He does some really cool projects.
Okay.
So I think Jimmy Chin
cool
would be it. Him and his wife like work together.
That's dope.
It's kind of like I'm not good with names right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
But there's like a famous DP.
Yeah.
And him and his wife do a lot of stuff together. So it'd be either Jimmy Chin or can I phone another friend? The director of photography for Brother Where Art Thou, or just do that. Sorry.
Yes, I love this.
I'm just typing so many things.
Deakins, Roger Deakins.
Oh, we got it.
Gosh.
Yes.
I'm slow, but the coffee's kicking in.
So
So final answer: Roger Deakins or Jimmy Chin.
Love that. Okay, tell me this: if your entrepreneurial journey or creative, career journey had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh.
Music is everything in our...
Thinking like a Motley Crue song.
All right. I can vibe with that.
Yeah. I feel like for high intensity, it'd be like a Motley Crue, like Kickstart My Heart, or it would be like a house song, depending on like the vibe.
The vibe. Yeah, the mood. Okay, last one. What is one thing about your creative process that people may be surprised to know?
My creative process? I'm so scatterbrained. but I feel like whenever I can lock into something, I can actually lock in really well.
Yeah.
So that I don't know.
Yeah, no,
These are good.
That's relatable, honestly, because I am the same exact way. I feel very scattered and chaotic in most of my processes,
Yeah.
especially creatively. But like when you get your heart and your vision set on one thing and you're so fired up about it, like you do just narrow in and zone in somehow. Something clicks.
Yeah, I can focus really well. That was my goal for this year. I have like one word for this year is present. So I'm trying to be like a lot more present in the projects I'm doing instead of being like bouncing around. So I'm trying to do bigger like less projects, but bigger projects so I can actually focus rather than, because obviously there's stuff where people are like, oh, I need a camera operator or I just need a DP. And it's kind of, like, oh, you don't really have to think that much.
Yeah.
But on these bigger projects, I'm like, I want to be very present and think them through. And
Yeah, that's good.
So,
It's
that's my goal.
Quality over quantity.
What's
too.
your word for the year?
I didn't come up with a word for this year, actually. I normally do every year.
Rapid fire question. If you had one word for this
one
year,
word
go.
for this year, I think it would be, I always default to presence because I think like being a mom and a business owner and like juggling all the things, I think being present is one thing that I always feel like I struggle with, but I think I'm getting better with it over time. I think that my word for the year is challenge.
Ooh.
Like I'm signing up and putting myself in positions that are really challenging me to like grow and level up in health and fitness and work. And we're celebrating 10 years of Good Vibe Media this year.
Congrats.
So
That's
I
huge.
feel like it's like a kind of a milestone year in different ways. And I'm trying to challenge myself to grow a little more.
Congrats.
Thanks for asking that.
Of course.
Okay, let's talk about your background a little bit.
Okay.
So I would love to know and hear from you how it was, being raised by an amazing filmmaker, an award-winning filmmaker who then built, Ragtown Media, which is the company that you now run and operate today. So talk about your childhood a little bit and what that was like being the son of an epic filmmaker.
It was kind of weird. Because I'm an only child too.
Okay.
So, a lot of I don't know, I feel like most kids, you don't really appreciate the things that you have, no matter what circumstances you're in. So I didn't appreciate it at the time. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, I got to go help my dad in the shoot, whatever. Like, oh, we're doing some like TV show or we're doing some commercial. And it was always really cool because I preferred it over, at the time I was working at this amusement park when I was like 15.
And this was in Amarillo.
This is in Amarillo,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so all the jobs I had, I was like, oh, this sucks. I was like, I'd rather mow lawns and work for my dad than, be a busboy or something.
Yeah.
Because I hated being told what to do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Like he taught me a lot, and I was a lot more into cameras than I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote because I was on a flight not too long ago and I was bored and I started just kind of like typing a little ebook for my website.
Yeah.
And I started putting a lot of dots together and realizing all the things. Because I guess when, I don't know how old I was, maybe when I was like 8 or 9, I took a photo and won like all these photo awards for this
that's
photo of a
awesome.
windmill with the sunset in the background.
Oh, that's
And
so cool.
And I guess that was like, I realized that I guess I kind of had
an
the eye for it the whole time. And then
What camera did you use?
I don't even know. It's
Did
my
you-
dad's
one
some
of
random
his-
Canon
Yeah.
camera. And then me and my friends were super into Jackass
Mhm.
and Nitro Circus and stuff. So we would I lived out in the country, so there's not much else to do. So we when it snowed, we'd make ramps into a canyon or make bike jumps and film it, and just us eating crap.
So
So I was always filming. And then when I started scootering, I was always filming. And then it kind of evolved into Undialed, which Undialed grew really drastically. And then we traveled all over. And then once COVID came around, I switched back to basically going full-time production instead of just part-time.
Mhm.
And here I am
Yeah, I love
in this
that.
chair. It's
Here
very
you
comfy.
are. So would you travel to LA and New York and a lot on some of the productions that your dad would do, or was there a lot in Texas?
It was really all the stuff I would be on. My dad spent 5 years going back and forth to Iraq for a documentary.
Oh, wow.
It's called The Kurdish Factor.
Okay.
And it was basically about these doctors that are going in, because there's two types of people in Iraq. It's like the Kurds, and then there's another, and the Kurds, I guess, are like underdeveloped, like unappreciated. And so these doctors, these Kurdish American doctors, would go in and do surgeries on the people that need surgeries. That because they weren't, it's like war-torn countries in Iraq, and so he went for 5 years and did that, and I wasn't a part of that. Like I helped, like I think I helped a little bit with like editing. Okay. But that was like the biggest thing. But yeah, he would mainly just run and gun. Helped him on some movies in like Dallas.
Okay, cool.
He put me in a stunt school actually one time in Dallas.
Oh my gosh.
And the like stuntman jumped off this like 2-story building into this big flat bag. I was like, okay, are we going? And they're like, no, you're not jumping. I'm like,
wait, what?
I'm like, why not? I'm like, aren't we supposed to learn how to be stunt people? That was lame, but anyways.
Oh my gosh. What would you edit on? What did you learn editing on?
Vegas Pro.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I originally had a digital blue. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
They're like these old stop motion cameras.
Oh,
so
wow.
me and my friends, we would make, I just realized that now. Damn. So we would make these stop motion things with like Bionicles and Legos.
Oh
We would make these like little like stop motion videos.
Wait, that's so fun.
And then, so that technically digital blue was my first editing software. But then my friend legally got me Vegas Pro.
Oh, got it.
and then I was on Vegas for years, and then I switched to Premiere. I was on Premiere for years, and now I'm on DaVinci.
Cool. Love that.
I'm just adulting as we
I
go
know.
up.
Keep leveling up. Let's talk about the move to California. When did you move to California, and talk about that time in your life, that decision?
So Amarillo is a black hole where dreams go to die. So, or dreams are never born. So I was like, we got to get out of here. Yep. Well, to me, not there's no one else.
Hey,
I guess me and my all my voices in my head. So at that time, I had gotten a sponsor for the first time. I was getting a whopping $100 a month.
Nice.
Big baller. So I was working a lot, and I was helping my dad. I was mowing lawns. I saved up, and I told my dad, I was like, I think I need to go to California, because I had just competed in I think it was the year before. This was 2014. I qualified for the U.S. National Championships, and I qualified to go to London for World Finals. And it was my first time like traveling for scooters. And so I went and I competed. I didn't do that good in the contest, but I got second in best trick, and that really helps my name. That's awesome. At that time. And so I was like, the only step, like California was popping at the time for scooters. Yeah. Not really anymore. It's more of like Central America now, which is weird. Not Central America, but like Central United States.
Yeah, got it.
Mid-America.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to move. I think by the time then it was like 2015, 2016. Yeah. And I went and lived at my sponsor's house. I shared a bed with one of their sons. He hated it, but and then I started working at these skate parks. I worked at 2 skate parks, and this was like,
what part of California?
It was like San Diego
areas,
but I was in Escondido because it was the cheapest area. And so finally I got a little studio apartment, and then my friend Will that I met and I started Undialed with, he ended up sleeping on my floor for like months at a time in my little studio. And then we're like, dude, we should just get an apartment together. Yeah. And then we got an apartment, and then we're like, shit, how are we going to pay rent?
Yeah.
And so, because his parents were like helping him a little bit to just like make the move out there. And so then we were like, okay, well, how are we going to make money? And we started a YouTube channel and Instagram page. 2016.
2016. Okay, cool.
Like October 2016.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what was the first few videos that you put on there?
I don't even know. There was like a couple Oh, actually, one of our most popular videos, we made like a mixture of skits and like tutorials, and every video we tried to make different. And so, which is funny because I used to do that with my friends on our old YouTube channel back in the day. We'd make skits and all these other stuff. And it's literally like I just moved from younger Clayton making videos to older Clayton making the same videos, just a little bit better quality.
Totally.
And I think the like third video we posted got like a couple 100,000 views, and we're like, oh, we're going, because Will had like 30,000 followers at the time. I had like 60, I think.
And it was from your like competing, right?
It was all from like posting scooter content.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we
Cool.
started it, and the next year we did this big Europe trip. We were like,
Wow.
we came up with this idea. Well, actually, we didn't even come up with it. We just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then we figured out later on of how beneficial it was because like most people, you know, in any industry, they go, you know, any business, they're going to travel to the most prominent places, right? Like even some people don't come to Phoenix because they're like, oh, it's not big enough, right? So they'll go to San Diego, LA, San Francisco, Denver, Dallas. Like they go to these big regions. Yeah. But me and Will were like, why don't we? Because at the time, the Undialed Instagram was promoting like unappreciated riders. So we'd find people that were really talented. And like there was kids we found in Iraq, Madagascar, like random islands. There's this island called Reunion Island off the coast of Madagascar, and there was like these crazy scooter riders. So we post them, and a lot of them like got sponsored because we promoted them. And they'd never been found before. So we took that same idea of being like, okay, we like, of course we're gonna go to the main places. We'll go to Paris, we'll go to London, but we were like, we need to go to these random places like Riga, Latvia, and we'll go to, you know, Stockholm, Sweden, and Oslo, Norway, all these places. And I think you're probably gonna know the answer, but guess where the largest of like, because we were doing meetups, right? We do meetups at skate parks. So we'd post, and we were there for 3 months. So we were like bouncing around, and we're like, hey, we're gonna be here this day. So like out of the big cities and the small cities, which ones do you think had the largest like people show up?
Probably the smaller ones, right? Yeah.
Our largest one was in Oslo, Norway, and there was 3,000 people that showed up.
What?
Yeah.
So how would you promote it? Like, how did you get connected?
Just Instagram. We were like, I just hit up a bunch of skate parks, like, hey, we're gonna come this date. Is that cool? And they're like, yeah.
Well, because also at Instagram at that time it was so much more organic.
It was
like there
numerical,
wasn't
too.
like this crazy algorithm and like manipulated system on the back end. It was so much more. Wow, that is epic.
Yeah, so that was because we had spent 2 weeks in Denmark. Because how we got over there was this little shop in Denmark, and they're like, hey, we want to do a trip with you guys. Yeah. And we're like, oh, we'll just build a trip around it.
So they paid for it essentially?
They paid for our flights there.
Okay.
And then leaving, it was like, I think we left December 28th, and we got there September something.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, did I say December or September?
December.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just correcting myself. So they paid for everything. We did the 2-week tour around Denmark, all these random cities. And then our next stop was Oslo, Norway. And we were like, who's going to come to Oslo, Norway? And it was insane.
Oh my god.
We like pull up in a van, and these kids are like banging on the window. And we were like 2 hours late, and half of them left.
Wow.
Because the people we were with were like very unorganized.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, that was, at the time we didn't realize it, because we're also making YouTube videos every day while we're traveling. We're posting 2 or 3 times a day onto the Undialed Instagram, and posting twice a day on our own Instagram. Like we were just on the content grind, and we're traveling. And so obviously some of the places like Riga, Latvia, there was like 10 kids that showed up, but they were so much more appreciative than a kid in London. And, you know, we started selling clothing. So after we do this big trip for 3 months, we get home, and, you know, we have like a couple like reoccurring sales from London, a couple reoccurring sales from Paris. The most reoccurring ones were from like, we didn't go there, but like Kazakhstan and like Tallinn, Estonia, and then Riga, Latvia. There was a couple of kids that would buy all of our stuff every time. And it was like, from there, you know, we realized it halfway through the trip, like all these kids are way more appreciative, because who is coming to visit them? Normally they have to go visit someone, but we came to them. And so we basically made that our whole content and tour structure. So every tour we did, we would go to like the major cities, but we made a point to go to the smaller towns.
Yeah. Do you think growing up in Amarillo maybe gave you a little bit of that?
Yeah, because
like
no one would come and visit. If a pro was there, they're just passing through.
Yep.
And they're like, you know, they would ride, post that they were there, and then dip.
Yeah.
Like Tony Hawk went there one time for the grand opening, and then that's all anyone ever talked about.
Oh my god.
Because he's like the only guy that ever came.
Right.
And like actually visited.
Totally. Wow. So what was the time span of Undialed? Like how many years did you pour into that work?
2016 to 2020 was like just going hard. I think we made like 700 and something videos.
Wow.
We posted like 9,000 videos onto Instagram.
Dang.
Um,
Did you get like a lot of sponsorship? Like as time went on, did you get like a ton of money in sponsorships to help fund more?
Oh,
of these
action
trips
sports,
and
there's
stuff?
no money in action sports.
Yeah, okay.
No. That's also why I was like,
because it's expensive to like, plan and like actually execute all these.
Well, and
trips.
hospital bills too. You don't really take that in consideration.
I didn't even think about that.
And you're broken all the time.
Oh,
because I was writing
man.
every day. My contract with sponsors was I had to post like 27 times a month for nothing. It was such a dumb.
Dang.
I needed a manager. My manager like fixed everything once I finally got one, like my agent. But it was not a good deal.
Do you think that's gonna change?
No, it's
No.
gonna get worse because everything's so oversaturated.
Yeah.
Now there's video games, action sports. There's all these different sports. There's, now there's influencing, and it's just like the spectrum of what you can do. I think is so broad that if you're not bringing, I feel like you either benefit at 10,000 followers or you benefit at 1 million followers. But if you're anything in between, they're kind of like, goodbye.
That's crazy.
Like the micro influencers get paid almost just as much as the people with 1 million followers.
Wow.
Which is very odd.
That is crazy.
Yeah, obviously a little bit like people with 1 million get a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like compared, because I think at my peak, I had like 310,000.
Okay.
And even then it was like I didn't get that many sponsors because I'd get like occasional ones. I had my monthly sponsors, but people that wanted ads wasn't as common because I was like in that weird threshold.
Yeah. Gosh, I was gonna ask you a question on that. I guess in the 4 years that you were like funneling so much energy and work into Undialed, what were some did you ever get tired?
Oh yeah.
Or did you ever have points where you're like, I'm done. Like I can't do this
that's
anymore?
why I don't do. That's why me and Will, White Trash Willie, shout out. We got so burnt out.
Yeah.
Because it's like not only is it your job, it's your hobby, it's your career. So I'm training to compete, and then I'm at the gym thinking about like, okay, what do I need to work on to do this certain trick or this like contest that's coming up? There's like a certain part of the skate park I want to be able to get around fast. So like, how do I need to train for that? And then all your friends do it, and then that's all your friends talk about.
Yeah.
And
takes
then
over.
and then all the content we're making all day is scooters, and then I'm posting about it. So it's just like, it was endless.
A lot.
Yeah, we did a lot.
That's a lot.
But it was so fun.
How did it end then? Like, what was that?
Technically not ended. We just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess it ended.
Yeah.
I don't like saying it, but I feel like I kind of had
But
this.
it's still, everything still lives out. All the content's still living,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's like,
course.
it is evergreen.
But there is like an
way.
aspect that it was like kind of hard for me to like stomach it. So it's still hard for me to say that it's over because it was so fun.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm still getting there.
Yeah, totally.
It's
so
not done.
It's not done. It's never over. It's just part of the journey, you know?
It's still part of the life, but yeah.
So then transitioning into taking over Ragtown,
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk about Ragtown a little bit? Because I know your dad started that company in 2007.
Yep.
So maybe talk about, the foundation of it and then the transition that went into you taking over.
It's honestly it was more along the lines because Ragtown is the original name for Amarillo.
Oh, okay.
That's what Ragtown means.
Cool.
Yeah. So he created it in 2007 and kind of already had something established. So when I came in, I either wanted to do Undialed Productions.
Yep.
And then Will was like, "No, you can't use that." I'm like, "Oh, damn it, it's so good." But then it kind of moved into Ragtown because I was like, "Hey, Dad, like, do you care if I use this and kind of continue it because it already has an established name?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's
I'm not using it.
awesome.
Because he's created a couple other things. Now he does a lot of distribution with Heartstrings, and then he has another like studios company, so they're like funding films
Oh, cool.
and whatnot. And he kind of put Ragtown aside and started Corban Pictures, I think that was what it's called.
Okay.
So it was sitting there doing nothing, and I like the name.
Yeah, for
It's different. So
Yeah. So talk a little bit about Ragtown Media. How has it evolved and shifted over the years? Or has it?
I feel like it's definitely evolved because, my dad did a lot of commercials and a lot of films, but I do a lot of documentaries
Yeah.
and a couple films, and like the occasional commercial. I'm just not like a commercial person. That's not
Yeah.
how I think. I like telling people stories and talking to people and doing interviews with people. I think that's more interesting than anything else. So I feel like that's how it's evolved. It's evolved into this storytelling aspect, because if I make content for companies, normally it's like documentary branded, or it's branded documentaries.
Yes.
So that way it's like I'm still telling their story, but not in this typical scripted way. And so I think that's the biggest change is it was story driven, but it's not commercial focused.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. I can relate to that a lot.
Because how is like VDEOMKR, well, I guess not VDEOMKR, that's a podcast, but like good vibe, how's it like changed for you?
Yeah, I think that, I so relate to you because I love the documentary style of filmmaking. I think when I was in film school and like learning all different ways of creating and storytelling, I think that the documentary style feels the most organic and real and raw because it is, like it's, and that's exciting to me. I like kind of having a little flexibility in not knowing exactly what the final outcome is going to look like because you're surprised and delighted when you're on set and capturing things in more of like a organic way. So yeah, I relate to you on that way.
Absolutely. And I feel like nowadays, agree or disagree with me, but we're lied to in a lot of ways. Like,
oh yeah,
like in every aspect of our life, like even growing up, like our history books were a lie, and that's continued in a lot of other aspects. So my point of view is like, why, especially for a brand or whatever, or for someone's story, like authenticity nowadays, I think is more sought after than it used to be, especially after COVID, because everyone was like locked up and they didn't know what to believe. People still don't know what to believe.
Yeah, 100%. Trust has like really been shattered a lot, especially the last few years.
And a lot of people don't trust that because they're like, oh, that's AI. It's brushed aside.
It's going to get worse and worse, honestly, with AI. Like the things I'm seeing on Instagram lately, I'm like, this is actually like, I don't know how it's morally and ethically okay for some of this stuff to be
it's crazy
put out there. It's really wild.
It is.
So I think there should be a disclaimer on anything generated by AI that says this is generated by AI.
Right.
You
in
would
ads
think.
They have to, but not on social media yet.
No, which that's scary as heck.
I think at some point they will, but I don't think it's causing enough problems to the right people.
Yeah.
Because once it starts causing problems for certain people, I think that's when they're going to be like, hey, we need to dial this back a little bit. Like we need to have disclaimers of some kind. Yeah.
Talk about, expand a little bit more on your approach of filmmaking and creating with your company, Ragtown. Like how big is your team? What do you shoot on? Like, give us a little insight on how you guys operate.
Oh, so I shoot on an FX6 pretty much most of the time, or an FX3. The size of everything is always dependent.
Yeah.
Like we just did this documentary, and it was for this rapper MC Magic, and it was like a small crew. We had a gaffer, grip, my TP Quinn, and then like the occasional PA. But then for the performance, there was like 40 people involved. So, and then, I shot this horse documentary not too long ago, and that was a small crew. There was like audio, gaffer, grip, DP, and then me. And that was it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just me.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this thing with it's a company called Get Cindy, and I'm making these short athlete documentaries.
Oh, cool.
And it's basically just me and whoever wants to come help out. So it's like 3 people.
So cool.
But ideally, I try to have at least one helping hand, because especially when you're trying to like set stuff up and think it's overwhelming, and you're checking the cameras.
Yeah, you gotta wear a lot of hats.
Because it takes away from the conversation.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Because I feel like that's the biggest thing in interviews. It's like this. Like obviously you have stuff written down, but like if you were interviewing me and have all these lights and stuff, a person that's never on camera is terrified, right? If it's their first or second time on camera, they're gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
And if you're always looking down at your notes,
totally,
or you have a laptop and you're just kind of like, oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah,
you're not actually connected with them, and they feel like even more
There's
intimidated.
a wall.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to bring the wall down, because once you start talking to them, they forget the lights are even here.
yeah,
Like
for
our
sure.
conversation, I've forgotten that the lights are even here.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous, but
Yeah.
like, it's still that
The
engaging.
human to human connection.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I try to do with Ragtown, is keep that human element and
Yes.
just try to really make people feel comfortable. Because I'll like crack jokes with them and stuff
Yeah.
before, and kind of like ease them up, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
You are good with that. You're a people person, I can tell.
Thanks.
Yeah. How do you like find clients? Like how do you attract the clients that you're like, oh, I want to do more work with this type of person or brand?
I feel like most of the time the big projects will come to me,
Yeah.
and most of the time I think they're scam messages.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. It's some like random email. I'm like, whatever, and I'll hit them back, and they're like, oh no, like, oh dude, this is all my website stuff. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. So it's kind of a little word of mouth.
Word
like,
of mouth.
Okay.
I've been doing some outreach, but people do business with people.
Yes.
So it's like,
yes.
if you hit some random person up, you're gonna more likely get a middle finger,
Yeah.
or not a response, or they're just gonna be like, no,
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of every filmmaker's question.
Yeah.
Like how do they go about, because everyone does a little different. Everyone does a little bit different, and I feel like mine's also project dependent
Yeah.
of like how I get connected. It's word of mouth, or sometimes I'll find someone online that it's like really fascinating, and I'll just message them like, hey, do you guys have a team following your story? Like, I'd love to do this.
Yeah.
And then they'll either be like, oh, we have a team, or
Yeah.
so.
Or, oh my gosh, no, we've been wanting to explore
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So cool. In the handful of years that you've been running this company, can you share us kind of like a moment? We like to call them opportunities for growth, aka failures that have like catapulted you into a major learning lesson where you're like, oh shit, that was a big learning curve for me. Can you think on like one production or anything that has happened running this company and the variety of productions that you've done that would be a story to share that might help some other future filmmakers?
So there's two.
Okay.
One was I was just like helping on a shoot. I was just kind of like gripping like with my buddy. He needed he's a gaffer, and he's like, hey, I just need someone down to come. I was like, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
I can help you out. So we have this big 12 by frame outside with a highlight on it, right? So it's like a big diffusion that goes over. I guess it's not a diffusion. It's like highlight, makes all the shadows and highlights a little bit softer and a little bit more neutral, so then you can control it. So we're shooting, and everything's moving fast, and so we're just like, we finish this outdoor section, and we're like, okay, let's just set this to the side. We'll lay it in the grass, whatever. We'll come back. Yeah. So we lay it in the grass, and a couple hours later we come back and we pick it up, and there's a perfect square made of dead grass.
Oh no.
And this like nice backyard too.
Oh no.
It was like lush green grass and then just dead fried grass. And we're like, shit. we're like, oh no.
What did you do?
I went and got some people, and
Getting
I was
green
like,
spray paint.
hey, y'all need to look at this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you say nothing. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just gripping. I'm not a part of this.
Yeah.
The second one, and this has happened a couple times, and I have learned my lesson on this, but deleting the wrong files.
Oh God, help us.
There was a show
That
I
makes
was.
me like start sweating just thinking about
I
it.
feel like the worst one I did. I was DPing the show for Barrett Jackson.
Yeah.
And it was like this 12-part series, and so we were like bouncing around a lot, and I had flown in from London. Oh no. So I had to fly in straight from London and come and do a pickup shoot for free because I deleted the files.
Shoot.
So going backwards, I'm in charge of keeping all the footage.
Yeah.
They have a copy of it on a hard drive. And so I'm like going through my folders, and I'm like, oh, okay, like there's a backup of this.
Yeah.
Like I know there is.
Yeah.
And I guess the backup that I made wasn't a complete backup. I had stopped it at one point on one folder, And it was like the day that we did all the interviews, we did all this badass stuff. There was like big moments made of like these cars being built. They can't be redone. And so they like asked for the footage and like, hey, where's day 3?
Yeah.
I don't know what day it was, but where's day 3? The footage is missing. I was like, oh yeah, let me get that for you. I go into my folder and there's nothing there, and I was like,
No.
I was like, holy shit. And then I go into another folder, not there. There's like screenshots, like screen grabs that I've made, because I make screen grabs for after every day just to kind of see how it looks.
Yeah.
I have the screen grabs, but that's it.
Not the footage.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, no. And yeah, so I just had to own up and they're like, where is it? I'm like, I don't know. I think I just didn't transfer it all the way, and I stopped it to transfer something else, and I just never came back to it. And I was like, but what I'll do is like, I'm coming back from London. We're going to be at this place anyways. I'll do an extra day. I'll pay for the hotel, which was nice because I had to pay like $300 or whatever out of pocket instead of like, flying out there, doing all that. But
wow,
it was sick footage too. I was like the most excited about it, and that's what I lost.
Oh,
So
man.
big learning. Now whenever I transfer stuff, I'm like checking each folder to make sure it's at like the exact megabyte. I'm like,
Totally.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And I'll go through and I'll check all of them. I'm like anal about that now.
Yeah, I feel that deep in my soul because we have had very similar situations.
And it happens. It sucks.
It does. It does. So what advice would you give to someone who might be going through their first like big moment similar to that? What advice would you give to them?
I feel like it's, if we're talking at a deeper level,
Yeah.
I think going through those make you better.
Yeah.
So you can't think of it as like, oh, like I'm not cut out for this, or I can't do this. You literally just have to be like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
That like, it is what it is. What am I going to do next time to make sure that doesn't happen? And then move on.
Yep.
Get over it. It
Yep.
happens.
100%.
I think and a lot of people get stuck in that rhythm, and then it ruins, like, obviously it'll ruin your whole day, maybe the next day and the next day, but
Yeah,
like
or week or month
or the month, but even then I feel like you can't take it as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because the only way you're going to learn it, and sometimes it sucks if you learn it on a big project,
Yeah.
but I think as a creator, that's why it's important to make your own stuff so you can mess up outside of someone else's pocket. You mess up on your dime, and then it's more of a damn it, okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I have to redo this, and I have to ask for some favors, but it's better than having to pay, I've had friends that had to pay $10,000 to hire a whole crew back because the footage got lost.
Ooh. Yeah.
So it's like,
stings.
think of it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to pay a couple $100, whatever.
Yeah.
But at least you're not paying 100 or even like $1 million.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
Can
you imagine?
I can't.
Oh, I don't want to imagine.
Nope.
Okay, I want to talk about your ebook. That's called Marketing.
Mhm.
It's your ebook, The Human Story versus AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's chat about that a little bit. What inspired you?
I just I had a friend, he's a sales guy, and he's like, dude, you gotta write an ebook. I was like, all right. And I started writing it, and I like writing, but it kind of opened up my horizon. Like I said, it really broadened a lot of things that I realized that like made me who I am now as a filmmaker, and why I do what I do and why I like what I like. And so it really enlightened me on everything, which was cool. But the whole goal of it, and I actually don't know if it's because I've read through it a little bit, but I haven't had anyone give me feedback on it.
Yeah.
But I did it with no AI, no spell checks, nothing, because that was like, that's the point.
Yep.
Is that I don't want to use AI for this project. So like if there's I guarantee there's some spelling stuff and some stuff that may not make sense to your average person because my brain's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was really cool writing it. But I guess my biggest takeaway is like everything I have done building up to this has gave me the direction. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Who would you say this book is for? Like if you could describe it and say this book is for someone, how would you describe that person?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
wrote it.
You just wrote it
I
'cause
just
it-
wrote
yeah.
it, and I just like it's kind of just my short story. It's like 4,000 words.
Yeah, cool.
Super short. It's like a couple pages.
Yep.
I didn't really make it for anyone. I just made it for myself.
Yes, which
So-
is usually what we do best, is we create
Yeah.
for ourselves, and then it attracts the right people that,
Yeah.
wanna
But I
dive
think if
into.
it was for anyone, it'd be someone that is either getting into film and are trying to figure out, like what are people's stories of how they got into this.
Yeah.
Like Roger Deakins' book, his book Reflections is really interesting. And that kind of inspired me a little bit because he goes through of like, he reflects on all of his shoots and has all these diagrams of how he set up all the crazy lighting that he does.
Cool.
And so that was kind of what I did. I was like, it was more of a reflecting on what I've done.
Yeah.
And for clients, if they're like, oh, I'm curious about using documentary filmmaking for branding rather than the typical, even AI, making
Right.
these like crappy AI videos. Like you're making a lot of videos, but they aren't very good.
Yeah, people feel that too when they're consuming it. So, can you share some tips as like AI is developing? What are some tips that you can share?
It's a tool. Use it as a tool.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't use it because something that I think I fell into it for a little bit last year, and this is also where it goes back to my word for the year present, is being more present in the sense of like using AI as a tool, but not to configure everything. So it's like come up with an idea and then help it use as like an organizational tool rather than your thought tool. Because it's like it's really never going to make anything that creative.
Right.
It's because AI isn't real. It's literally just an algorithm. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And people are treating it like it's another
therapist.
person, like a therapist or a boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, hey, and you do you, but at the same time, it's like you can't use it as another person. You have to use it as the tool that it is, and it has tons of benefits. Like you can build your SEO with it, and you don't have to you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars for your SEO, and you can use it for like like YouTube subscriptions with like high ranking keywords, and I don't know. It's like it really is great, but I think at some point as a creative, you need to be creative.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, what would you share to like how do you feel like creatives will be adapting? What do you think the value of creatives are going to look like in the next like 5, 10
I think
future?
content creation is going to not be as big,
Yeah.
but just like I was saying, authenticity is the number one thing. It's going to be great for B-roll reenactments in documentaries, but documentaries aren't going anywhere. Live sports isn't going anywhere. There's still filmmakers that shoot on film.
Yeah.
And they live and die by it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to be AI movies and video AI, or AI movies and normal video. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the biggest, that's just the next thing. Like people are still going to shoot on film in probably 50 years. People are still going to shoot on digital, and then people are going to start doing AI because it's easy.
There, yeah.
But I don't think as many people are going to be interested in it because it's not real.
Exactly.
Because people want to see, like CGI is one thing, but people know it's people behind that lens,
Right. Yeah. I think also people love what I'm witnessing, even as a consumer myself, is like how valuable and how cool it is to see the behind the scenes. I'm literally thinking of my 13-year-old is obsessed with Stranger Things. And so we watched, after they released the final like season finale of the whole show, they came out with a documentary where you could see the behind the scenes of how they created all the effects that they did. And that was so cool to like witness and see. And I think that having that ability to show the behind the scenes of how things were created is something that like you can't really do with AI.
No.
Like,
I mean, I'm sure you can, but it's like a fake set.
Yeah, totally.
It's like cool.
Yeah, that's like not as exciting,
Well, even like, have you seen Silo?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you need to watch Silo.
I'll put
It's
that
good.
on the
Or
list.
Pluribus.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Pluribus is a new Apple TV show, and Silo is an Apple TV show.
Okay.
But Silo, they made like 70 something sets, and all the lighting is like built into the set.
Oh wow.
And so when you're watching the movie, they're not on a set; they're like in this silo, is basically what it is.
Whoa.
So I watched the behind the scenes of the Silo show as I was watching it, and I was like, honestly, more intrigued because I knew that they're like, when they're filming in a room, it's an actual room. It's not like a, like an airplane set or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing too. Like
Okay.
behind the scenes is huge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, more people are wanting it. I mean, you're seeing it in so many different genres too. Even, artists like Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all these people that are coming out with documentaries and docuseries of like, let's take you behind the scenes of how we put on this massive production going on tour. People want to see that content.
Well, even like F1,
Yeah.
Full Swing.
Yep.
Like there's the NBA is doing shows now, the NFL is doing shows, NASCAR is doing shows.
Yep.
They all are realizing how important documentaries and storytelling and behind the scenes really is, because it's building
To show the authenticity.
and it builds trust too.
And it builds the trust. Yes. Okay. I'm freaking fired up. Tell us something. I am. This whole conversation is like getting me real fired up right now. I want to know what you're excited about. What's coming up for you in the near future?
So one is the passion project I'm doing with Get Cindy Instincts.
Yes.
It's really cool. The first episode is about this paralyzed freestyle motocross guy and his life now after being paralyzed. And it's very heavy. Like, I'm learning a lot of stuff just about him. It's going to be short, but it's going to end with something big. He may get on a dirt bike again and jump it paralyzed. I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out.
Oh.
But the big one that I've been working on it for a year now. It kind of took like a side for this MC Magic documentary that I was working on.
Yeah.
But now that that's kind of done, my main focus is now this documentary about hemp called Hemp Nation. And it's probably gonna be like a 6-part series all about hemp, because it's like whenever, and it goes back to Undialed, but like when we were making clothing, I created these hemp hoodies. And so I was like super obsessed with hemp.
Yeah.
And I had like these pages of all these different fabrics mixed with hemp, and I like started reading all these books. And so when I started shooting and making these documentaries, I was like, I need to do something different, because people have made hemp documentaries before.
Yeah.
It's been used for 10,000 years. George Washington grew it. Like Benjamin Franklin's been used for 15,000 years in China.
Wow.
But it got legalized in the 1930s with the cannabis ban, because it like affected, because it would literally, like, you wouldn't need to cut any more trees down, but it would make biofuel, it can make batteries, it can feed the whole nation, and it cleanses the soil, and like any oil spills you can use. Wow. You can actually use hemp to clean up oil spills.
Wow.
And tons of other natural disasters.
Wow.
And it grows in 4 months instead of 60 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Little rant, but whatever.
No, I'm fascinated. So
Yeah.
where are you in production of this?
I've made like a short teaser,
Okay.
and just got connected with an executive producer.
Okay.
So she's helping me, like, she's really well connected with the like hemp industry.
Okay.
And because now it's like my full focus.
Yes.
And so that's like when I become a powerhouse. I'm
Yes.
like, if I'm focused, it's gonna
Yeah.
get done.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is. Because I hate when people tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
Which no one really tells me that anymore.
Yeah, because
just-
you've proved that.
I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna do it, or at least die trying,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like my main focus right now is
So exciting.
that hemp documentary.
That's
It's gonna be a big endeavor. We're doing
Yeah.
like research studies. So like the first episode's about soil, because like 30% of the U.S. soil is completely dead.
Wow.
It's not actual soil; it's just dirt with like pesticide, herbicide, and fertilizer that sits in soil for over 15 years becomes radioactive. So most of our, especially around Phoenix, most of the croplands is all radioactive.
Oh, damn.
And this isn't like, this is true.
Oh.
And like, this isn't conspiracy. Like,
Whoa.
I can put a
didn't know
tinfoil
any
hat
of
on if you
this.
want, but
Wow.
then you should have one of those. Just
No.
like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically like hemp could cure, it's called phytoremediation. And there's a couple plants that do it, other than hemp, but hemp I think is the most hemp I think is the most powerful and beneficial plant in the world. and it grows 25 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's when it grows, unlike cotton and all these other things where cotton will just like take everything out of the ground and it doesn't replenish it, hemp replenishes all the nitrogen and basically heals the soil. And so if you do one round of hemp, it basically heals the soil to where the next round you don't need any herbicide, pesticide, fertilizer to grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're doing a research project with someone, I can't say yet, but we're doing a research project with them, and I'm documenting the research project of them doing the phytoremediation and showing a before and after of vegetables and dirt versus soil.
Wow.
And so each episode is going to have like its own research backing and its own research study. So not only are you going to have like a visual representation of what happens, you're going to have an actual study that showcases what we did to like the T.
Yeah.
Because my thing is that not every documentary, but a lot of documentaries are very hearsay.
Yeah.
They're very like he said, she said, this happens, trust the experts. And it's like science is all over the place in so many ways.
Yeah.
So it's like in order for me to make a documentary that's something of this stature, it has to have actual backing and research done instead of just being like, this happens.
Yes.
Because even me saying like the soil becomes radioactive, I've heard it from all the farmers.
Right.
But it's like, I want to
Just
show
see
that.
it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. This is going to make major, major impact.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
super
not
exciting.
suicidal.
Yeah.
It's going to, because that's the biggest thing is like the oil industry.
Yeah.
It would affect the paper industry.
Everything.
It would affect everything. But just saying, I've been told 2 times now, be careful.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
No.
if I die in a helicopter crash.
Yeah. I mean, that's fascinating to think about though, because you have like a lot of, especially with the different mediums and ability to put information out there these days. I mean, I'm thinking of a couple examples off the top of my head where it's like things can get exposed and reach a lot of people, very quickly. And I think that, it's this very like, I don't know how to say it. In a world where there is so many trust issues with media, there's also this like almost hope of like, oh, but there is truth. There is a lot of truth and authenticity that's there. And there's a lot of good people that want to be able to share the real information and share the transparency. And my mom always says the truth always surfaces and the truth always comes out, you know? So I don't know. I think that gives a lot of hope to us, filmmakers that have such a passion and a heart for wanting to be good people.
And that's why documentaries will never die.
Never, ever. I know.
There's no way. You can do interviews with AI, but it's not that good.
Nope.
A lady told me that one time because I had my camera. And this was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And she walks up to me and she's like, you know that your job is completely useless now. And I was like, excuse me, what's your name?
Wow.
Like, who are you? And she just comes at me sideways immediately. And then she asked me for an interview afterwards.
Of course.
Was like, but she was like, all I have to do is take a photo of myself and I can do an entire interview of just me. And I'm like, no, you can't.
No.
And this was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Or actually maybe it was 3 years ago. But it was like right when AI started. And I was like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
That is not true. And even still now, obviously it's really good, but it's still
not real.
It's still off,
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of rambling, sorry.
No,
Very
it's
ranty.
good. This is so good. I'm super, super grateful for this conversation. I do have one final question that I want to ask you
It's gonna be
before
hard.
we wrap it up. No, it's I don't think it'll be hard.
Okay.
But I think
Am I gonna cry?
It's thought provoking. Maybe that's been my goal this whole time. Like, how can I make Clayton cry?
Start bawling. Cut the cameras.
This is our final question. We love to ask this to everyone that comes on the show, but it's really a letter to our future makers. If there was a young creative or filmmaker that found this podcast 10 years from now, what's one piece of advice that you would want them to take from you?
Can I say two?
Yeah, sure.
One's my motto that I say every time before an interview. It's only weird if you make it weird.
That's good.
So don't make it weird. It's a life thing.
Yeah.
You know, in any scenario.
Yep.
Like if you don't make it weird, it's not weird.
not
The other
weird.
person might, but it's like,
But that's on them.
it's on them. The other one is kind of what we were going into earlier about, and I may not say it the same way, but like, don't get caught up on the little things.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a reason why most people fail. It's because they're either scared, they give up, or they get so in their head that they stop themselves from doing something, or they fail one time.
Yeah.
You know, my biggest thing is like, and I think it helped from scootering because I've broken like a lot of bones. I've gotten a lot of concussions, and you know, you have to like fall and get back up even when it hurts.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, if your leg's broken, you can't get up, but you can limp it off.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, the biggest thing is get up and try again,
Yeah.
or just go work a normal job because you're not fit for it. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's a long
That's
thing, but
awesome.
yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you get it. Is there anything else you want to leave with our listeners?
What makes you happy?
Me? Oh, I've never been asked so many questions on an interview before.
It's your show too. Come on.
Okay. I love this so much. Thank you, Clayton. What makes me happy is, I think, people. Like when I meet people and I see them in their joy, it could be people that's close to me, like my family and my kids, or my team, or someone I meet for the first time. When I feel their joy and happiness and their authenticity, I think that makes me the most happy. And I think it's a little superpower that I have too, where I love to find that in people and bring that out in them too. I think as a filmmaker, especially in interviews and documentary style filmmaking, I think that's kind of something that you kind of have to have a little bit in order to connect with human to human and capture them in that form. So yeah, and really good music. Music always makes me so happy.
Go-to song. Go. Rapid fire question.
Oh, anything Rufus Du Sol. Like anything Rufus Du Sol. Instant. Yeah. I'm kind of like an EDM, like chill house
That's what
type
I
vibe
imagined
too.
when you asked me the song.
Yeah.
I was like Motley Crue or like a Rufus Du Sol, but I couldn't think of like a song, but like that vibe, you know?
Yeah. I did just see
Or Banks.
Banks is great too.
Yeah.
I saw Zoo this past Friday, who I'd never seen live. He's, I mean, talk about art. He's unbelievable. Like, I mean, he does the vocals, and I mean, he is just seeing him. I've always appreciated his music, but seeing him live and perform, I'm like, damn, that is pure artistic form. So yeah, I just love art. I love people that create, and music is like an instant gratification.
And that's why you create.
Yeah,
and
totally.
talk with people.
Yeah, that's it. Totally. Okay, well, where can people find you? How can they stay connected?
Instagram, LinkedIn, kind of. I probably won't respond because everyone's spam.
Yeah, I know. What the heck's up with that?
It's so
I hate
annoying.
that.
But Clayton Lindley on Instagram. That's my personnel. Ragtown Media on Instagram, and then ragtownmedia.com. Not on OnlyFans. Thanks for asking.
Shucks.
Yeah, no feet pics. Sorry.
Yeah, dang.
That's it.
Awesome. So good. Well, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We have made a video.
We did it.
We are video makers.
That's right.